Welcome back to computer science class. In the last session we discussed two-dimensional array. Here two-dimensional array means array have two subscripts or two index values, and also we discussed how to access a array elements. In this session we discuss some more example programs on two-dimensional array. Let's consider a problem statement. Program to find transpose of a given matrix. You have to find the transpose of a given matrix. We know that matrix is a best example for two-dimensional array. Here transpose means we have to interchange the rows and columns. For example, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a matrix, it is a matrix of order 2 cross 3. How do you know it is a 2 cross 3? There is a 2 rows and 3 columns. So these are the rows and upside are the columns. So the order is 2 cross 3. Here the meaning of the transpose is we have to interchange the rows and column values. That is 1, 2, 3 are in the column, then 4, 5, 6 are in the second column. Just we have to interchange the rows and column values. That is the transpose of a given matrix. Then it becomes order 3 cross 2. This is the problem statement. Just we have to interchange the rows and column values. See here the address are 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, then 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. So these are the columns 0, 1, 2, rows 0, 1. Then see here 0, 0, 0, 0, then this is the column 0, 1. Then this one is 1, 0, 1, 1. This one is 2, 0, 2, 1. See the index values. Here what is the position of 1? That is 0, 0. In transpose also it is 0, 0. Then see the position of 2. Here it is 0, 1 position, but 2 here it is 1, 0 position. Then see the 3 is in, originally it is in 0, 2, then but here it is 2, 0. Then 4 is in 1, 0, but 4 is 0, 1. Then 5 in 1, 1, here also 5 is 1, 1. 6, 1, 2, but here 2, 1. What we observe in the transpose? The index values are interchanged. The index values are interchanged in a transpose. At the same time, here is an order m cross n. After transpose, it becomes n cross m. N cross m. So it is easy to find the transpose of a matrix. If the order is A of ij in a original matrix, then in a transpose it becomes A of, first we have to write the j, then we have to write the I, because in a transpose the orders of the matrix also change, then the position of the matrix elements are also changed. So this is the technique in transpose. What is the technique here? Just we have to interchange the index values. Also we have to interchange the order of the matrix, because after transpose the order of the matrix also changes. First it is m cross n, then it becomes n cross m, then index values are also changed, that is j I. Using this two technique we have to write a program to find the transpose of a matrix. Let's write a program. First write the include statement. Hash include IO stream, conIO.h, main of the program main of the program, and under that we declare integer of a of two-dimensional array. Here the index values are 5 5. Then it needs I j in order m n. So these are the required variables. All variables are declared under local variable section. Then function clr scr to clear a screen. Output enter order of the matrix. Enter order of the matrix. Order of the matrix. Then cin extraction m extraction n. After that enter matrix elements. Enter matrix elements. To read a matrix elements, we use two for loops. First one represents the row, second one represents the column. For j equals I equals 0, I less than m I plus plus. Under that, for j equals 0, j less than n j plus plus. Then cin extraction a of I j. See here, while reading, the index values are I j, then order is m cross n. Then if you get a transpose means you have to interchange the order of the matrix and also interchange the index values. Then we get a transpose of a matrix. Directly print here, see out transpose of a given matrix transpose of a given matrix. Let's write a for loop. I equals 0, I less than n I plus plus. Under that, for j equals 0, j less than m j plus plus. Then see out array of, first write the j value, then write the I value, then set width of 4. Close the inner for loop, then output endl. Close the outer for loop, get ch function, close the main program. What we done in a transpose? Just we change the order. See here, while reading we entered m cross n, but while transposing we have to interchange the order n m and also interchange the index values. First we write the j value, then we write the I value. Automatically it interchange the elements. What is the meaning of transpose? Just we have to interchange the row address and column address, or we have to interchange the row elements and column elements. All row elements are become column elements, then all column elements are becomes row elements. That is the meaning of transpose. Let's discuss a next program, that is a lab program, addition of two compatible matrices. Before going to write a program, we know that how to add two matrix elements. Let's see, A is a matrix, have 2, 4, 3, 6 are the values. Then another one is B, that is 1, 0, 2, 1. These are the elements. These are the two matrices. The basic condition for to add two matrices is the matrix must be compatible. When we say matrix are compatible, if order of the both matrix are same, here the order is 2 cross 2, then here is an order 2 cross 2, then we have to add two matrix elements. The basic condition for addition of matrices is both matrices have the same order. Then we say matrices are compatible. then we have to add the matrix element. The condition for compatibility is, here is an order M1 cross N1, then second matrix have the order M2 cross N2, then the condition for compatibility is, if M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2, if this condition is true, then we have to add the matrix element. Then we say two matrices are compatible. Then how to add the matrix element? Here addition of two matrices means you have to find the A plus B. A plus B. Here addition of two matrices means we have to add the corresponding elements, that is first element from the first matrix, first element from the second matrix, then second element from the first matrix plus second element from the second matrix, then third element from the first matrix, third element from the second matrix, then fourth element from the first matrix, fourth element from the second matrix. Then the result is the sum of two matrices, that is 3, 4, 5, 7. Then it is also order M cross N, here it is 2 cross 2. The result is of the same order. Then this is the condition for addition of two compatible matrices. The rules are, first we have to verify the compatibility. The basic condition for addition of two matrices is, order of both the matrices are same. Order of both the matrices are same. That is the condition. M1 is equal to M2, and here we use the logical operator, logical AND, because logical operators are used to combine two or more expressions. Here is an expression 1, then here is an expression 2, N1 is equal to N2. If both the conditions are true, then we have to add the matrices. Assume that if the first matrix order is 2 cross 2, another one is 2 cross 3, then these two matrices are not compatible. When we say both are compatible, M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2. If it is true, then two matrices are compatible for addition. Then addition of matrices means we have to add the corresponding elements from both the matrices. Then how to add the matrices element in an expression? That is, if the sum is A of ij represents, then S of ij, then which is equal to A of ij plus B of ij, then the resultant matrix is S. That is, what is the value of ij? If it is 0, 0, then here also it is 0, 0, then here also it is 0, 0. It can access element from the both the matrix, then add those matrix elements assigned to the resultant matrix. If I and j values are changed, both A and B index values are also changed. Like this, we have to add the matrices elements. How to access? Using this formula, we have to access the array elements. Then I value varies up to m times, j values varies up to n times. See the procedures. First, verify the compatibility, then access each element from both the matrices, then assign to the resultant matrices. Result is assigned to the resultant matrices. So these are the procedures. Let's write a program. So addition of matrices needs two matrix elements. It needs two matrix elements. Program to add two compatible matrices. Compatible matrices. For that, first write the preprocessor statements. iostream.h conio.h main of the program, then declare three matrices. Why it is we declare three matrices? Two are the input matrices, one is the resultant matrix. So declare three matrices. Integer of A of 5, 5, B of index value 5, 5, and one more resultant matrix, that is S of 5, 5, then order M1, N1, M2, N2. So these are the variables required. After that, CLR, SCR, output, enter order of first matrix. First read the order of first matrix. The first matrix order is seen M1 and N1. Also read order of second matrix. That is, enter order of second matrix. Then C in extraction M2, extraction N2. Read orders separately, first matrix and second matrix order. After reading the orders, verify if both are compatible or not. How to verify? If M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2. See the equality operator. Double equals is a equality operator. Verify the orders are same. If it is same, then output, enter order of first, okay, enter first matrix elements. First read the first matrix elements. For that, use for I equals 0, I less than M1, I plus plus. One more, for j equals 0, j less than N1, j plus plus. Then C in extraction A of I, j. So this is for reading matrix elements for the first one. Then output, enter second matrix elements. Read the second matrix elements. How to read the second matrix elements? Using for loop, I equals 0, I less than M2, I plus plus. For j equals 0, j less than N2, j plus plus. C in extraction A of, okay, here name is B of I, j. Because second matrix elements, the name of the matrix is B. After reading the elements for A matrix and elements for B matrix, we have to add the corresponding elements. Again, to access the corresponding elements, we need for loop. For I equals 0, I less than M1, I plus plus. For j equals 0, j less than N1, j plus plus. Here either use M1 or M2. Similarly N1 or N2, because here already we verify M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2. Inside that, write S of Ij, which is equal to A of Ij plus B of Ij. We have to add the corresponding elements. How to add? Using a 2 for loops, we have to access each element from both the matrices, then add corresponding element that is assigned to the resultant matrix S. When both for loops are terminated, output it. See out sum of matrices. Matrices E is, again it is a collection of elements. To print the matrix elements we need for loop. For I equals 0, I less than m1, I plus plus. Inside the for loop write the j for loop, j equals 0, j less than n1, j plus plus. Inside that output, see out resultant variable array name is S, S of I j. Then enter set W of 4. Close the inner for loop, output ENDL, close the outer for loop. Then function gets EH, close the main program. This is a lengthiest program, mark it as lab program. In first PUC we have 3 lengthier programs. First one is sum of 2 computable matrix. Second one is transpose, product of 2 matrices. Third one is scalar matrix, verify whether the given matrix is scalar or not. These 3 programs are the lengthier program. So be carefully trace these 3 programs. What we done here? We have to declare 3 arrays, 2 index values, 2 order of the matrices. A, B, S are the 3 2-dimensional arrays. M1, N1, M2, N2 are the orders of 2 matrices. First we read orders of the first matrix, then orders of the second matrix. Then verify if orders are compatible. If it is compatible, then we read the value for first matrix, then we read the value for second matrix. Then also add the matrix elements. Then after adding the matrix elements, we have to print the matrix elements. Make a one correction. Here we verify if M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2. If it is true, we have to done all these things. If it is false, we also write the else part here. Else output matrices are not compatible. Matrices are not compatible. Not compatible. Then insert get CH, close the main program. There is a else part. After closing that, there is a else part. So here we open a if statement. After adding the matrix elements, then we display the matrix elements, then we close the inner for loops, outer for loops, then if statement. Go to else part. Here we say matrices are not compatible, then close the program. To access the array elements, we use the for loop. Outer for loop represents the row, inner for loop represents the column. Here either we use M1 or M2, then in the place of N1 also we use N2, because already we compare M1 is equal to M2 and N1 is equal to N2. Be carefully about compatibility. If orders are same, then only we have to add the corresponding elements, otherwise the addition is not possible. Just we say matrices are not compatible. Let's consider a next program, that is we have to find the sum of all the row elements, sum of all the column elements from a given matrix. Consider the matrix 2 3 4 1 2 3 3 2 1. Assume that it is a matrix of order 3 cross 3. The problem statement is we have to find the sum of rows, then sum of columns. That is, here we add 2 plus 3 plus 4, then 1 plus 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2 plus 1. These are the sum of row elements. Then column elements, that is 2 plus 1 plus 3, 3 plus 2 plus 2, 4 plus 3 plus 1. That is the problem statement. We have to add row sum and column sum. That is, it returns 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 6. Then here it is 3 plus 1, 4, which returns 6, 4 plus 3, 7, 4 plus 3, 7 plus 1, that is 8. So that is the problem statement. We have to find the row sum and column sum separately. How to find the row sum and column sum? Here is a logic to find the row sum. Sum of row elements. See the addresses. Here it is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Then here 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Here it is 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2. Then to find the row sum, first we have to access the row elements. I equals 0, I less than m, I plus plus, if the order is m cross n. Then for j equals 0, j less than n, j plus plus. Then here we initialize r sum equals 0. Then at the same time r sum equals r sum plus a of I j. Here we initialize r sum here. R sum is equal to 0. This is the logic for finding the row sum. How it is works? What is the index value of 0? I equals 0. Then j is also 0. Initial value of the r sum is also 0. So 0 plus we have to access a of 0, 0 element. What is the value of a of 0, 0? That is 2. Then which one is incremented? Inner for loop is incremented. After inner for loop incremented, what is the value? Here is a 2. Next one is a of 0, 1. Only j value is incremented. It becomes a of 0, 1. In a 0, 1, the value is 3. It returns 3 plus 2, 5. Next, here is a 5. R sum value is 5 plus a of 0, 2. What is the value of 0, 2? Here is a 0, 2, that is 4. Then it returns value 9. Then here is a 9. Then j loop is incremented, but j loop returns false. Next, I loop is incremented. So if I loop is incremented, I value is 1, then j value is again begins with 0. Initial that r sum, row sum is 0. So again we have to access the value 0 plus 1, it returns 1. Again j value is incremented, then index values are 1, 1, 1 plus 2, that is 3. Again j value is incremented, r sum value is 3 plus next element value is 3, then it returns 6, that is the value. Then again j is terminates. If j is terminates, it increase the I value. Now I value becomes 2. Then r sum initialized to 0. R sum initialized to 0. Then 0 plus first value is 3, it returns 3. Again j is incremented, it becomes 2, 1. 3 plus 2, then it returns 5. R sum value is 5 plus next one is 2, 2, 1, then it returns 6. So this is the value 6. Then j loop is terminates, I is also terminates. Then values are 6, here also 6, then 9. So this is the program segment to find the row elements. Similarly, to find the column elements, again observe here, we have to find the column means these are the elements for the column, then these are the elements for the second column, these are the elements for the third column. See the index values 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, but here 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0. So I value is varies, j value is constant. Hence, for the column sum, we use the logic for I equals 0. Here order is changed. I less than n, I plus plus. Here we initialize C sum equals 0 for j equals 0, j less than m, j plus plus. Then C sum equals C sum plus A of, first we have to write the j, then we write the I. Just imagine the last program, that is transpose of a matrix. In a transpose, we have to interchange the rows and columns. Here also, we have to interchange the rows and columns. Hence, for the column sum, we change the order. First we write n, then we write m. Then j values are very constant, I values are varies. Hence, first we write the j, then we write the I value, because I is a outer for loop, j is a inner for loop, where C sum is a temporary variable. After accessing all the elements of an first column, again we have to access second column, then we have to access third column. Hence, here we initialize C sum equals 0 when inner for loop is terminates. If it is terminates, outer for loop is incremented, then it is initialized to 0, because we have to find sum independently. First we have to calculate the sum of first column, then we calculate sum of second column, then we calculate sum of third column, like this. Every time we have to calculate separate column sum. Hence, when the I loop is incremented, we reset the temporary variable C sum. The statement is sum of digits of a number. We write a program, sum of digits of a number. There we write sum equals sum plus digit. Similarly here, sum equals C sum. C sum stands for column sum, which is equal to column sum plus A of ij. Just trace the program. Initially, what is the value of I? I is 0, j value is also 0. Then first we write the j, then we write the I. Hence, first element is sum equals 0, so C sum is also 0. First one is 2, it returns 2. Next, j is incremented, then it accesses the element ji, that is 1. Then it returns 3. Then j is incremented, then it accesses the element 3. So 3, that it returns 6. That is the value here, 6. What is the address of 2? Here the address of 2 is 0, 0. Next one is 1, 0. Next one is 2, 0. So I value remains same, only j value is incremented at a time. So it is incremented from 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. So these are the elements. When inner for loop is terminates, then it increments the outer for loop. So here the I value becomes 1, j is again initialized with 0 to 2, C sum equals 0. Again trace the program. Initially C sum becomes 0, then plus it accesses the next element 3, the answer is 3. Next one is 3 plus 2, answer is 5. 5 plus 2, the answer is 7. So this is the answer 7. What is the index value of 3 here? See here example, say I value remains the same, see 1, 1, 1, then j value is varies from 0 to 2. So like this we have to access all the column elements. This is the logic for column sum. In a row sum, the orders are same, m and n. Then index values are also I and j. But for the column sum, we have to interchange the order of the matrix. First we write the column size, then we write the row size. And also to access the array elements, first we write the j index value, then we write the I index values. Then finally print column sum and row sum. Let's write a program. Here program statement is program to find sum of row elements and sum of column elements. Sum of row elements and sum of column elements. First write the pre-process statements. Main of the program, declare a two-dimensional array integer of a of 5 5, then order m n, then additional variables ij or sum c sum. Or sum stand for row sum, c sum stand for column sum. These are the two additional variables. CLR SCR to clear screen. First read the order of the matrix, enter order of the matrix. Order of the matrix. Cin extraction m extraction n. Output enter matrix elements. Enter matrix elements. To read a matrix elements, for I equals 0, I less than m, I plus plus. For j equals 0, j less than n, j plus plus. C in extraction a of I j, a of I j. Then we have to find the row sum. To find the row sum, just insert a output cout row sum. To find the row sum, again we have to access all the elements of a matrix. To access a matrix element, again it needs two for loops. I equals 0, I less than m, I plus plus. After that, initialize row sum which is equal to 0. Then access the column elements. J equals 0, j less than n, j plus plus. J plus plus, then row sum which is equal to row sum plus a of I j. Here row sum value is 0. You have to access all the elements from the first row, then assign to the temporary variable row sum. When inner for loop terminates, output sum of row number I plus 1, that is awesome. Just print the sum, then close the outer for loop. When inner for loop terminates, we have to access all the elements of an first row elements. So print the sum. I plus 1, why here I plus 1? I start from 0, so here it is I plus 1. Then to find the column sum, again insert a message, column sum is, access the elements. For I equals 0, here interchange the order. For the I, give the n value, order n, then initialize C sum which is equal to 0, access the j elements. J equals 0, j less than m, j plus plus, add C sum equals C sum plus a of, first write the j value, then we write the I value, j I. Then again, when inner for loop terminates, output sum of column number, that is here also I plus 1 C sum, variable C sum. Variable name is C sum. Close the outer for loop. Then get C hat, close the main program. For the column sum, use the logic transpose of a matrix. So interchange the order of the matrix, that is n, m. Then also interchange the index values. For every inner for loop terminates, display the value of column sum, because if the outer for loop increases means it access the next column elements. Before going to access the next column element, we print the first column sum. Then we access the second column element, print the second column sum. Then we access the third column element, print the third column elements. See the position of output before the outer for loop. We have to print the sum of first column, then second column, third column, like this. Similarly for the row also. So the output of first row elements inside the outer for loop, inside the outer for loop. If the outer for loop I is increment means it represents the second row, it represents the second row. So before going to increase the outer for loop, you have to print the sum of first row elements. Carefully trace the program. In the next session, we discuss product of two compatible matrices and whether the given matrix is scalar or not. That is discussed in the next session. Thank you.